Hey y'all, welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and dive in and see what Divine Holy Spirit has for the collective. The cards are all upright and in order by way of major arcana through each element. Thanks y'all for being here. I appreciate your likes, your shares, your comments. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. So Holy Spirit of the highest white light consciousness, what do you have for the collective? What's the collective need to know and be made aware of at this time? What do you say? What do you say? All right, so I heard latest developments. Couscous. I don't use that. I think that's a dish. Couscous feels like it's like a concoction, like a mixture of things. I can't say if it's just like things that are kind of left behind that you throw together and make a meal. I feel like it's more or less like you have to gather these ingredients just to make like this assorted batch of something to consume. Couscous. Y'all, pardon the dog. I don't know what he's going through. All right, Ten of Swords in the pre-shuffle. All right, what else, Spirit? Some of y'all might exactly know what couscous is. I have no idea. All right, so I heard recluse, like a recluse spider. That means hiding, right? Like they're easily hidden. Like I'm being shown like a brown spider on like a brown wooden background. Like it just blends in. You wouldn't even know. A recluse. And that's the whole point. They don't want to be seen naturally. They don't want to be seen. They want to be hidden. Interesting. All right. All right. All right. So I heard formalities, almost as if there's a way to do things. Like it has to go this way for it to actually become something. If we're talking about a recluse spider, you know, they have to be brown or they have to be this in order to mesh perfectly with whatever this is so that it can go disguised or unknown. All right, so we pretty much got that concept, you guys, right? All right, there's something hidden here, but it's like hidden in plain sight. Wow. All right. I'm giggling. Anna, this is for you. This is for you, as per our conversation. Yeah, okay, where we last left off. All right, this is real time, y'all. Let's go ahead and shuffle the cards to see what comes out. Okay, the cards are upside down, is what I'm being told. There they go. Okay, this card flipped out in the deck. So I was getting the hidden in plain sight energy, so I was chuckling under my breath. That's what I got with that Ace of Wands. It didn't want to come out of the deck, but you know what? I'm hearing the reference, it stuck out like a sore thumb. So hidden in plain sight, and then the, you know, what would be like opposite, stuck out like a sore thumb. All right, I know it's gonna come together, y'all. It'll come together. All right, y'all, let's, look at this. Right when I was about to say, let's end it, these just kind of magically flipped over with just a little toss of my thumb. We have the Ace of Pentacles, so it's just the one card. So just when we thought it was over, right? Let's keep that energy in mind. All right, y'all. So bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Wands. Wow. There's going to be some revelations in this reading here. I can already feel it. So let's talk about the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Spirit, tell me more, please. Tell me more. So I'm hearing corporations, digest. So this is like a something had been thought about for some time. When I think of the word digest, I'm asking behind the scenes in my mind's eye, what's the corporate energy? Because I mentioned corporate. So spirits, summarize this Two of Wands for me, please. So we know the two has to do with decision. Sorry for the camera shake. But if something's being thought, I'm hearing grief. So if something's being thought about for a long time, but now that the grief component's been added, so it's been worrying someone for some time as well, but they No, it was a decision that they would have to make eventually. And if it is tied to some sort of corporate entity or understanding, corporate just seems like everybody goes along with it. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. That's what corporate means to me right now in that instance. So it's the idea of, just going along for the get along. It's like this, I'm hearing family, and then I heard namesake. So this has a lot to do with tradition and, what family expects you to do or to be or to become. And just that Two of Wands is always like, yeah, because I heard family values just now. Yeah, I know this is what Uncle Bob and Aunt Sarah and Candace, my cousin this is what they all expect of me, but that's not going to be at the end of the day, ... But it is right now because, I have to kind of coincide is the word I'm hearing. So that's that get along to be along sort of energy that I mentioned. Like just having to go with the flow. Like when it comes to like family and expectations is what I'm hearing. All right. I don't feel like that's it for this card. So I wanted to pause for a second, see what else is there. What else, Spirit, with the Two of Wands here? Because this is bottom of the deck energy for what we're about to get into. So I'm hearing the coincide. So going along with something. Because I'm hearing lateral. So lateral would mean like you're along the same kind of pathway or wavelength, or you can look to your left and look to your right and you're still in some sort of alignment. But I feel like that alignment had to do with the people around you. That's what I'm getting. And I'm speaking of left and right, to the left of you, to the right to you, like that's that threshold. That's that Two of Wands energy, that threshold that you're standing in front of, but you're contemplating walking through. I'm hearing something surrounding a race, or if it were a lane, like a highway that, cars would travel down. It's almost as if you're in the center lane and you can't cross to the left or you can't cross to the right because there are people beside you that are keeping up with you. It's like wanting to be in that middle lane, but now you need to take an exit, but it's hard to make the exit because there's a car to the right of you. Or if the exit's on the left, which sometimes it's designed that way, the roads, right? There's a car to the left of you, but your exit's coming up. But, if it's something that you've been contemplating for some time, and now you're ready to finally maybe consider that it's time to make this move, it's almost as if the blockage to the left, to the right, like it's not like it's bad blockage, but it's in the way. Those two cars parallel to you are in the way of you getting off of this road to make your exit. I'm hearing grandstand. Okay, so we're talking about potential now. Like that Two of Wands is like your potential, but it's like you're second guessing, or you're just kind of looking at going with the flow, the get along sort of energy I mentioned. You got your cousin and your aunt to the left, to the right, and they have expectations of you. But it's like now it's like you want to say, I'm ready to see what else is behind this threshold, and I want to walk through this because it's been on my mind for some time now. Here we are. All right, y'all. So there we are. I knew there was more. So we have the underlying energy. So this is wanting to get off of the highway, trying to make this exit, this grandstand, because it's going to be something spectacular. It's going to be something like monumental, grandstanding energy. But you got your aunt and your cousin in the way. One's on the left and one's on the right. And it's not that they're trying to stop you, but it's like they're in the way. It doesn't have to be literally your aunt and your cousin. I'm just saying. These are people or situations, things or ideas or just whatever it is that's there. They don't know that they're in your way. That's the idea. They don't know. They're just passing their lateral beside you, parallel. They're traveling just like you are. North, right? On Highway 21 or whatever. but they don't know that you're in the middle lane and you need to cross over to the right real quick or to the left. But you knew your exit was coming up. You just weren't ready, but you see that it's here. Now you need to get over, but it'll be some sort of impact if you try to cross right now. There's going to be an impact. So now I'm asking, like, well, how do you signal them to let them know, hey, I need to exit right, or hey, you over here to my left, I need to exit left, without slamming on brakes? Like, you can't do that, because there might be somebody behind you. So you can't stop because somebody's following your lead. They like the middle lane too. They're coasting just like you are, but you don't want to stop, in order to let the car on the right pass so you can now gently take the exit. Because there may be a car behind that car. It's like what to do. This is the Two of Wands. What to do? We're going to find out, y'all. Let's find out. But I know don't give up, because that Ace of Pentacles was right there. And the sentiment when it was flipped over with my thumb, I was about to put the deck down, or I had already called, okay, so let's get, and then that Ace of Pentacles just magically flipped over. So that was the right before you were about to give up. But isn't that always it? Isn't that always it? Right before you're about to give up, boom. And you tell the story, man, I was about to just drop everything. I was really about to do that. And then suddenly, boom, Ace of Pentacles. We already know what that's about. But at the same time, that the Ace of Wands also did some sort of thing within the deck that it just flipped over in the deck. But it did stick out like a sore thumb, because I mentioned that, but we were talking about a recluse energy when that happened. So a hidden in plain sight was the synopsis, if that's the word, the summary of what that meant. Hidden in plain sight with the recluse spider energy. So we're going to put these pieces together, y'all. Just, just sit back and relax. And let's let this unfold. I want to say open up, as if like blooming of a flower. Maybe that's the story. Okay, so I heard somebody say rose that grew from concrete, because that would be it, right? That would be it. Okay, now, underneath this Two of Wands, let's talk about what we have here in this Ten of Wands and this Seven of Cups reverse. So the Ten of Wands speaks of being almost there. Like you're almost there, like push a little harder. I know those are heavy. I know you've been carrying this weight, but you almost there. Like, please don't stop. Please don't give up. That's the Ten of Wands here. Now, next to that, we have the Seven of Cups reverse. The Seven of Cups reverse would mean confusion for me. Like, it's hard to even see what's next. It's hard to even imagine the goodness of what could come once this completion is made. Truth be told, as quiet as it's kept, it's already done. But that Seven of Cups lets me know, like, that's my like mental health card, like being in your head, like way too much, like being all consumed now at this point. It's already done. You should just go ahead and count it up as that. It's done. And that way you'll be able to release and drop that burden, that mental burden of what's next. Like, I was listening to something this morning on TikTok. It's saying that there were two important scriptures eliminated from the King James Version that had to do with, whatever you ask, you shall receive. I guess as long as it's in alignment with what Creator Source God has for you in your life. But the two things that were omitted, long story short, had to do with manifestation. That's what they removed from the scripture. So they were saying, what we know to be manifestation, you have to already see yourself there. But with the Seven of Cups, it's telling me that it's hard to imagine being a millionaire, right? It's hard to imagine being successful when there were so many 10 of Wands to where the ball was dropped. Eventually, the ball was dropped. This would have been the 10 of Wands reverse. In any other reading, that would be comparable to what we're talking about now, this energy that's coming up now. It's in the upright, but I already told you, consider it already done. But that Seven of Cups lets me know there's past burdens, past abuses, past, denials, past just a lot of like murky energy. But that's what's keeping this person in this Two of Wands for a long time. Like, should I step out or should I not? Should I stay where I am or should I walk through that door of whatever's on the other side of it, which we have no idea. But we've been fighting to see what that is, but it's just not gone according to plan. Our plan, our ego plan, right? I'm hearing quiet is kept, but I was being reminded of the recluse spider hidden in plain sight. All right, y'all, let's keep going. Let's keep going. There's some more here. Okay, so we're gonna dive. Let's dive here. Let's dive here and see what this Three of Swords reverse, the Ten of Swords reverse, which that showed in the pre-shuffle, the Ten of Swords, and then the Four of Pentacles. I was hearing coming back to remind us. So there's something here. Maybe there. Okay, I don't even want to. Let me just ask. Spirit, tell me more about this Ten of Swords reverse with the Three of Swords reverse and then the Four of Pentacles upright. I'm hearing casualties, but casualties. Oh my God. But casualties of war. I heard coincide. Coincide is a theme here. Coincide even with the driving down the highway and you have a left lane and a right lane and you're in the middle. That's a coincide energy as well. The coincide with the brown recluse spider, like they want to be hidden. And I was shown like with the brown wood with the brown spider on it, like hidden in plain sight. All right, let's keep going. So the coincide energy with the Ten of Swords spirit and the Three of Swords, what is this? I don't even, okay, I'm going to say it, but I heard death without pain. What? Ooh, that's deep. That's what I heard. Spirit, tell me more about the death without pain. So death would imply having to die, having to end, but without pain. So the pain meaning it wasn't suffering. It wasn't suffrage attached to the death. Okay, let's see. I'm like, okay, Spirit, I got that part. So what else? What else is connected? I know it's more. Okay, I heard plain as day, conspiracy. A conspiracy means it maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but nobody really knows because nobody can prove it. So it's a conspiracy. There are a lot of where there's smoke, there's fire references to conspiracies, but nobody can actually say, yeah, that's exactly what it is, and we have the statistics to prove it. But that's, okay, so now we're getting into the spirituality. That's really why spirituality is so beautiful, because it's everyone's own experience and their account of. And then you have people coming together to say, yeah, that's exactly what that is. But how are we going to prove that? Other than by our own lives, our walking lives, and people watching us and bearing witness to these things and making account of what they've known to reference that what you're saying could be true. Because yeah, they do remember you at the lowest point, and to see you now, it's like, wow, there are miracles, not that it was like a bad scenario, but it could have been. The people looking at you now like, man, yeah, God is definitely in the miracle making business. Like, that's what I'm hearing. Somebody might specifically talk like that. But there was no pain. There was death, but there was no pain. Like, it wasn't like a physical death. I feel is the reference here. And it wasn't the amount of pain that would have taken someone else out of here. Like they couldn't deal, they didn't want to be here anymore, and that may have been the sentiment, but it didn't happen. It didn't result in someone departing from here prematurely, especially by their own hands. Because look at these cards, y'all. All of this is coming up because I'm talking about the Ten of Swords and I'm talking about the Three of Swords. And they're both reversed. They're in the worst case scenario of an energy with these two cards. So that's why the conversation is leaning toward that way. Because it really could have been bad, y'all. That somebody, whoever I'm talking to, is not supposed to be here. If it were left up to them and their own mind and doing and ego, they would have taken themselves out a long time ago. But it didn't happen that way. So let's dive in. Well, I wanted to say let's get more into that recluse spider energy. Like, what is that hidden in plain sight? But I feel like we're getting there because that came around that Ace of Wands energy. But we got to talk about this Four of Pentacles first. Control. I'm hearing you have not because you asked not. We brought up the biblical reference when I was telling you about what I saw on TikTok with the two texts taken out of the King James Version that had to do with manifestation. So the death without pain, meaning I feel like Spirit allowed you to go through death without experiencing an actual death. They allowed you to bring endings, but it's like quiet endings. They weren't like endings that would be the direct result of, okay, RIP energy. No, these were endings, but Spirit allowed you to learn from certain things, to remain, quote unquote, in the game, but then to be at this point to where a miracle is about to happen. That's what, boom, that's where we are, y'all. There's some miracles that are about to happen in you all's lives. Because you didn't give up. You didn't stop. I know these wands are heavy. 10 of Wands, right? I know it's hard to imagine what it's like to not have to carry burdens because you've been doing it for so long. Or with the Two of Wands energy, the family scrutiny. Like you've been dealing with, their beady eyes on your whole entire life with their nosy asses. And impeding and judging and dictating and telling you and making you and forcing you. Yeah. And you just been wanting to try to get off an exit, like the next exit. But then when the exit comes, they're blocking you. You can't get off. So you say, okay, well, the next exit, I'm going to get off at the next exit. It's like traveling and you see a sign for food. And something happens that you miss the exit, like, dang, and I'm really hungry too. Like, it's like your stomach's growling now at this point. Like you really need to get off the exit and find just something. A pack of saltines, a pack of peanuts, something. You need something. You've been on the road for a long time and you're deprived. But every time you get to an exit, it's like somebody's blocking it. And they're like, no, we got you. No, if you can do this, if we can do this, you can do it too. Here, have these Skittles. This is something they scraped up they gave you their last or worst of what they had. You're supposed to give somebody the best of what you have. No, they give you like the second-hand stuff, the stuff they don't want. But that's what you've been tied to. So it's almost as if somebody who helps you, but then they throw it back in your face that they helped you. Like that's the energy, y'all. And you've been wanting to get off of this road for a long time now. Like please, the next exit. And then you find out the next exit is 15 more miles when you just missed an exit. So now you got to live with that. And your stomach's growling. Anyway, y'all. There's something here about possession and control, but that's the sentiment of the Four of Pentacles. But that's what I'm hearing inhabilitating, but that's what's been keeping you stuck. Others' possessions and controls and ideas, ideals about you and your life and how you should run your entire situation. But it's caused nothing but burdens. Ten of Swords, Three of Swords reverse. And now I'm being shown this Seven of Cups reverse again because you're almost there. Do not get consumed with these past reminders of you missing exits. Your stomach's growling. Don't get distracted by these things. It's almost as if prepare to exit now. You can't slam on brakes though, because somebody might be behind you. You can slow down your pace. And I feel like slowing down the pace, of course, naturally allows the two cards that are imposing on you to keep going and not even realize that you've slowed down. But the slowing down means that you allow those cars to pass and you're able to exit off. That's what that means to me. So the fact is that they lose control that they never really had because you realize that. You realize that you were in control this entire time. All you had to do was just slow the car down a little bit and prepare to exit. Prepare is the key word here. And that's that Ace of Wands. That's when you find your new opportunity. When you make that exit, now you know you good. You got off of that highway finally. So it's like you could pull over and just rejoice in that fact alone, and that'll be bread enough for you to eat off of. Because you ate, as the kids say, you ate and left no crumbs. Anyway. But yeah, you're sitting off of the highway exit like, man, I finally got off of that whatever, fill in the blank. Whatever that means to you. It depends on how bad that road was. How far you've traveled. You could have been on this road for miles and miles and years, you know what I mean? So you could have been in some accidents on this road. You could almost lost your life on this road, right? You were possibly driving impaired on this road. So you really weren't in your right mind behind a vehicle that was in charge of moving you about on this journey. I knew this was going to get deep. Anyway, thank you, Spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to share this. Thank you for choosing me to share this. All right, y'all, let's get into what this demonic energy represents here by way of the Devil card. It's tied to the Fool card reverse and the Ace of Swords. And not to mention this Pentacle seems like it wants to ride along with it. So this, before you give up, don't do it because this is right here. That's the energy, something's here. So of course, this pesky demonic energy would be around here. Let's see what all this entails though. Because I would like to look at the Page of Swords as being a positive omen here. That there had to be some sort of opening up of truth, understanding here with the Page of Swords. It was very little, but it allowed you to crack that door open to now it's about to swing, like it's about to come off the hinges. Never mind a door. Look at the Two of Wands threshold. There is no door there. Once this transpires, this moment of truth here happens, oh, it's on. You got the Fool card reverse right next to that. It's on like popcorn. But what is this demonic energy here, Spirit? Why does this seem to be like I'm hearing frame of reference? Okay, so I guess that has to be the frame of reference to where when we were talking about hidden in plain sight and then sticking out like a sore thumb, there has to be some sort of reference to how your life was possibly being demolished by a person, place, situation, thing, circumstance. That's the representation of the demonic energy. And then not to mention, right before you give up, there's that Ace of Pentacles. Here's your new start. Here's that moment of truth. But this demonic energy, however it's held by a person, place, situation, it has to be part of this equation. It has to be there. It has to be front row center. Has to be. I feel like that can go down a whole lot of different avenues right now, but I'm going to just leave it be. I'm going to leave it there. But this energy has to be present. It has to be. All right, we got one more card over here. I'm going to turn it over. We have the Emperor. The Emperor is somebody who has withstood, if that's the word, able to withstand, withstood. I'm talking about like present tense, because all of that extra stuff in the past is what put them in this throne, this seat, to call themselves or be referred to or regarded to as an emperor. That's the top of the food chain. Like, this one has mastered so many different things, so many different situations, energies, peoples, places, things. Like, this is like a guru energy. This is the one people call upon. And people will fight you over their emperor. Like, you better not say nothing bad about my emperor. So that lets me know you have a lot of witness. We talked about witness accounts here. You have a lot of people here who could vouch for your journey. And those are the ones that were saying, yeah, God makes miracles happen every day. That's you. Because you're now at that level of, wow. That's the same. Yeah, y'all went to school with them. This is what I'm hearing, the chatter in the background. Y'all went to school with them. So we're talking about people who know you. And whatever this Ace of Pentacles, this Ace of Wands is tied to here, and the Fool card reverse, the Two of Wands, because it's about to happen, the completion with the Ten of Wands, and the Emperor. Something's about to explode right in front of people's faces. That's all I got to say about that. Okay? Whoo! That's good, y'all. Let me use my little handmade cards. I never really pull these out, but I'm feeling like, let's see. Let's get another message from the Lord. All right. Y'all, it's here. Go ahead and already count it done. So, okay, so I'm asking myself for advice to give you on, okay, so what about for those of us that is, it's difficult. If we're honest, it's difficult for us to manifest because we can't really visually or in our mind's eye, it's hard to fathom something being good. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but we were talking about worst case scenarios here with that Ten of Swords reverse and that Three of Swords reverse. We don't know what people been through. And the fact that they are still here says a lot, right? This is Emperor status we're talking about, right? And being recognized as that because of the miraculous things that are about to take place. Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Fool card reverse. So what about those where it's hard for them to say, oh, well, somebody tell them, oh, just, the manifestation method, just see yourself already there. And, it's like, well, yeah, what is there? Like, it's hard to even I can say, okay, yeah, I could see myself in a penthouse in New York City, but I really that's probably the best I can do. It's like, well, you got to think about the price of the penthouse and, how it's being paid out. And like, you got to start thinking that way. But it's like, well, damn, that means I need to hit the lottery or I need to get a decent job that's going to be able to afford that kind of money, but I have no idea what that is. I don't want to go back to school. Like, that starts happening. Yeah. And then you're in that Seven of Cups reverse before you know it. So that's like the manifestation energy has gone down the drain. So Spirit, what do you say for those types? That is hard. Like, once you get there, then it just starts coming on down because of all the other things that are factored in that are kind of setting that person up for failure. Like, what do you say to that person, Spirit? Y'all, I just heard get your mind right. I don't know who that is on my side of the family who would say that. It sounds insensitive, but, I would imagine they like to give it raw, uncut like I do. So, okay, get your mind right is helpful, but I need a little more, whoever you are. That was cute. What else? What else would you seriously say to that person, though? So I heard, hold on, let me pause. I heard convey, and then I saw a peek of a card that I wrote that says circumstances. Convey circumstances. Y'all, that's a little too much for me right now, energy wise. All right, Spirit, let's go there. What is convey circumstances? So I'm hearing stop comparing yourself. Oh. So I feel like the stop comparing yourselves would mean stop putting yourself in that position to set yourself up for failure. It's almost as if become someone else. Become another version of yourself who has absolutely everything. It's still you, but it's not you. Y'all, is that the hidden in plain sight, the recluse spider energy? Is that where we're going back to? The beginning of the reading, the channeling energy, hidden in plain sight. I was reminded of corporate. I brought corporate up earlier, having to do with everybody's doing it. Like it's one of those things, but that's not us. We're not everybody else. So there's a different way of doing something when it comes to this technique. But it has to do with getting beside yourself or outside of yourself, like it's still you, but it's you in a different light. Okay, I feel like I'm just repeating myself at this point, y'all. Let me go ahead and see what we have here with the clarifiers. I'm hearing judge ye not. So maybe we're judgmental on ourselves. Maybe that's the issue. Judge ye not. That would make sense, right? That's what that would break down to. Like, don't judge yourself, but it's like if you're judging the person next to you, you're basically judging yourself. So that's why you should not judge, because it can happen to you, sort of thing. All right, y'all, let's see. Oh, okay. Dang, that's a lot. All right. I'm going to just turn those back over because we have a clump of cards here that fell out. But death wish is here. So I feel like death wish tied to this. Okay, look how it's laying. Like it's connected to that devil energy, which has to be present to be able to see this Ace of Pentacles happen in your life, because the whole point was to not get you to this point. That was the whole point. Because it's almost right when I was about to give up, right? Death wish. Y'all, this is like my second or third time using these cards in a public setting. So I have to get familiar with the cards again based on what I wrote at the time of the channeling, when I, wrote whatever it was out on the card. So y'all might have to give me a moment. I'm going to turn these over. So we have trash talk, but these all laid out on top of the Emperor, but they were face down. So this is what you did not know or did not see coming. But I feel like the trash talk had to do with a lot of people didn't think you would make it. They were talking junk about you since they've known you. But they're about to see a miracle, okay? And they're going to be reminded of what they said about you. Behind that, we have stereotypes misunderstood. So I feel like the stereotypes, I know I got this from a song, like a rap lyric at the time of the channeling. It just dropped on me, so I wrote it down. Stereotypes misunderstood. So this is a two-parter, but it comes together. But that's what we've been dealing with the recluse spider energy. So a stereotype is something that is an assumption based on a particular group of people or whatever that is. The misunderstood is like, even though it's a stereotype, which could be true, but that's the conspiracy energy we were on earlier. It could be true, but it's still a misunderstanding at the end of the day. Yeah, I don't know if I have the energy for that right now, but we'll just put it there. Maybe something clicked for you just with that alone, but I'm not going to go any further than that. We have illness here, but I feel like with the trash talk, people did not want to see you make it. So I feel like a lot of that could have transferred into the metaphysical as spell work. You know, the things, the judgmental energy, things they said about you. Now they're being judged, you know. They judged you. Now they're about to be judged because they're about to witness whatever this is, y'all. Because it's emperor status. It's going to be big. So it's giving me hometown. I keep getting hometown energy, like they grew up with you, or they're saying, oh, I went to school with that person, like clout chasing energy. But whatever they've tried to put on you in regards to trash talk may have transformed into, I mean, you know what this is? I don't feel like it's a physical illness, but I feel like it's more or less, I'm hearing visual impairment right now. So it's clouded judgment based on what they've seen or sight, there's something going on around that, y'all. I'm trying to. Visual impairment. So obviously they couldn't see what you saw. But then you might have been at a point in time to where you were impaired visually. Like what you thought you saw was possibly an illusion. And you fell into that illusion. And maybe that brought on some sort of illness energy here. But they're the ones that's going to be sick in a minute. Truth be told. They're about to be sick. Have y'all gotten like a random phone call from somebody you went to school with, or a DM or a message like, where'd this come from? Just out the blue? Because they're feeling it. They came straight to you because they know something's about to happen. Because you just ran across their mind, or maybe you're like running across their mind multiple times a day now. Because they have to come and, you know, witness whatever this is. They have to. Because they got to eat that. That trash talk, they got to eat all of that. So now it's kind of low-key bothering them. All right, times are hard. Look at this. This seems like all about this clout chasing energy that's popping up in your DMs. Like, hey, how's the family? Like, what? Like, why are you even, what? Yeah, that one. Whoever that is. That's them. This is them. This is them. Times are hard. I told you. They going through it. They about to be sick. Spring, summer. So get ready, y'all. I said prepare to exit. Prepare to exit. That was a sentiment. Because you know the exit's coming up. Time away. So this is, okay, so I'm hearing this is going to afford you the lifestyle that you've wanted. Like you've somewhat envisioned what it was. Some of you maybe know exactly what it is that you want, but the blockage around you was just hard. It just wasn't manifesting quick enough because of the blockages. But that has to do with that highway channeling scene that I described to you. Wanted to get off of the highway, but somebody's next to you on the left and the right. Like you can't maneuver. Because it's giving you an energy of they're always checking. Like it could be pocket watching. It could be like just all up in your business. Just felt like nosy family. Just people just wanting to have total control over you. When you're realizing now that they never had control, but you gave it to them. All right, y'all, get ready to, your exit's coming up. So prepare. Hope this helps.